I want you to know, so, like, in the newsroom when the Bills scored, everyone was just
Bro,
ecstatic,
I had
literally
Amber. I
everyone was like,
had
"Let's
Amber
go Bill."
watching the game and Amber
Yeah,
getting excited when Buffalo like that. It was
literally,
that crazy of a game.
I feel for Buffalo so bad.
Uh,
That that hurts.
like
Josh
that
Allen,
was good for football. Like
I
period.
will say this right now. I'm gonna look at the camera. Josh Allen, every Buffalo fan, I can say nothing to Josh Allen all next year. He could throw 20 interceptions. I can't say, which I don't think he can do.
What is going on, guys? It is the AFC and NFC championships, and it is time to pick them. Knicks picks championship weekend. I am joined by Ben as always. So, before we get into anything, let's address the elephant from last week. Well, two elephants from last week.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot from last week. Obviously I'm feeling better. So I am back to hosting. Ben, you did a good job last week. I appreciate it, but
Thank you, thank
I
you.
will I'll take my throne back. Ben was on life support last week, and well, he didn't get all three differing picks that we had, but he did get enough to somewhat stay alive for this championship weekend. And it's interesting because I mean, nothing's set in stone in the NFL. Anybody can win. Any of these teams can move on to the Super Bowl. But let's be honest, it is pretty clear who the favorites are in these two games coming up. So it was very hard for either of us to pick against them. But Ben has a different route to victory. We'll get to all that in a little bit. Don't mention any of it now, Ben, but how are you feeling going into championship weekend?
I'm just letting you know right now, dude, that first off, divisional round. I've seen a lot of people say that that was the best weekend. I wouldn't go that far. I won't go recency bias, but I will say Sunday saved that weekend because we'll talk about him
That is
obviously.
in the top. Chiefs Bills, I will say, is in the top five football games I've ever seen. College,
I
NFL,
I would say it's
top five
probably top.
football games I've ever seen.
I'll do one better. I'll say it's probably top three, even in just the
It
postseason
might
alone.
be. I would have to
Like
actually sit
even
there and think about it.
including Super Bowls, that game. Like I saw something where it's like this should just be a best of seven. Like honestly, I would go for that.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of that divisional round, let's just do a quick recap of what happened last week. Also with what happened in our picks to keep Ben alive. So we started with the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Tennessee Titans, the first game on Saturday. And first of all, I'm just going to say Saturday games altogether were very sloppy. They were very sloppy
Honestly,
games. So clearly I had the Cincinnati Bengals winning that game. Ben had the Tennessee Titans, and that was the almost the nail in the coffin for Ben. It looked like he was not going to be getting anywhere. He had already lost one of the three of the differing picks. Joe Burrow played pretty well for himself. I really do think Ryan Tannehill lost that game above
100%.
anything else. So the Tennessee Titans will have to address that moving forward, but that
Threw
divisional
three
game.
picks. He threw three picks, and the first throw, he forced it to Julio and threw a pick. Like that's bad. That's really bad.
That's bad. The second game on Saturday, as I mentioned, was the Packers against the 49ers, and Aaron Rodgers and that offense. They showed up for the first drive of the game, scored a touchdown, and then that was it. I will go ahead and I have to say this on camera because I made the bold prediction. I was texting Ben before the game. I'm not going to throw up the screenshot because that'd be a lot of work to get it. But you guys can take my word for it because I'm owning up to it. Before the 49ers Packers game, I said it's a lock. The Packers are winning this. I see no possible chance the 49ers win this game.
Well, I was with you on that too. Like we were both in agreement that there's no way, which I did say, there was no way that Garoppolo wins that game. He
And
did not win that game.
like,
It was
yeah,
special teams.
and I don't think the 49ers won that game. I think the Packers lost that game. I think,
Oh yeah.
I know that doesn't make sense to non-sports fans, but if you know what I'm talking about, you get what I'm saying.
When you have a blocked punt and a blocked field, which I didn't know about the blocked field until you told me because I wasn't really paying attention to the game. I saw the blocked punt. I'm like, oh. Then they won and like I don't even know who the fucker was honestly, but
Yeah,
like
49ers didn't even score a touchdown that game offensively. They only scored it off that blocked punt. So Saturday ended. We moved on to Sunday, and for the first half of the game, for the first 2.5 quarters, it looked like this was going to be a third sloppy game of the week by a team. But then Tom Brady woke up, and you can never count him out of it. It was 27-3. We were 1 point off of the meme. I was texting Ben the whole time, telling him the meme, it's real. 27-3. His favorite team blew a 28-3 lead. His dad's favorite team is the Rams. They were about to blow a 27-3 lead. And then last couple play of the games, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp just absolutely torched the Tampa Bay defense and win an amazing game. But I will say this, to the 49ers credit going into the NFC Championship game, the Rams showed a lot of flaws near the end of that game. They started to try to hand Tampa Bay that game near the end of the game. You don't turn the ball over 4 times in the playoffs and win. Like it shouldn't happen.
The first thing I think of is Cam Akers. I get it. You're coming back from a bad injury from the preseason. You're coming back. You gotta protect the ball, man. You know that. Or if you're Sean McVay, I put Sony Michel in. I would not be surprised if Sony Michel starts the next game against Niners because he's more experienced and he's done better in these clutch moments. So I get it. The Dominican Sue, he's a beast of a man. Like I don't think I could hold the ball, but like you got to know to hold that with both hands and just go straight down.
And then us football fans of the world, every football fan except for Buffalo fans were absolutely treated to, I mean, even Buffalo fans for that matter, were just absolutely treated to one of, like we said, the best games that have ever happened in the NFL, but like in football, just in general. That game, I mean, even if like you could just take out the first 3.5 quarters, you could literally just the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's all the excitement you really needed. Lot of talk about the overtime rules after the game. I'll make a quick comment here about where I stand with this, and Ben might make a quick comment on his side where he stands with this. I do understand that the overtime rules need to be changed, especially in the regular season, because I'm sick of the ties, and I've talked about that all season. And I do feel like us as football fans did get robbed of a Josh Allen moment in the overtime where he didn't even have a chance to respond to what Patrick Mahomes did. But I do see the other side of the spectrum where 13 seconds left, Buffalo, and you let you should have won that in regulation. You left Travis Kelce. You left Travis Kelce wide open both times. Or actually, it wasn't even Travis Kelce. It was Hardman, I think, the first time, and then Kelce the second time. But
probably Hill too.
Probably Hill in there too. But you literally let them drive downfield in 2 plays and get into field goal range with 13 seconds left. That shouldn't happen. So to say that like you lost the game on a coin toss isn't technically true. You lost the game when you let Patrick Mahomes put it into overtime and let the game fall into the fate of a coin toss. So I agree it should not come down to a coin toss at the end, because if it wasn't for that situation with the 13 seconds, if it was just a tied game, just, an absolute back and forth, maybe defensive or offensive game, whatever, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't come down to a coin toss at the end. My only possible solution to this would be, at least for the postseason, just make it a full 15-minute quarter, make them play out the whole quarter. I don't know how to fix the regular season without finding some sort of college football rule, and I know a lot of people don't like the college rule, myself included. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say about that. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, to me, they're both number 1 and 2, like, in the league right now. And I wouldn't even say that just for, like, Mahomes and Allen. I'll say that for, like, Kansas City and Buffalo. I think, like, there is no team that is left in the playoffs right now that would beat Kansas City or Buffalo last night. So,
I think, based on last night's performance, I would say the Rams, but based on how KC and Buffalo played on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I think these are
I
the
can't.
top two
I
teams in the
do
league.
think the Rams could have lost against the Bills or the Chiefs. How they played, even though I have the Rams winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. If the Chiefs play like that in the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, it's gonna be dicey.
So one last thing before we do get into the AFC and NFC Championship picks. I forgot to mention this when I was talking about the Rams and the Buccaneers game. There is some noise that Tom Brady would potentially retire after this season. If that is to happen, Tom Brady at the age of 44 had a roughly 68% completion percentage this season, 5,316 yards, NFL record by the way, passing yards this season, 45 total touchdowns. He was the first quarterback in NFL history to reach 700 career passing touchdowns this season. He eclipsed 5,000 passing yards for the second time in his career. And he also broke the NFL record for completions in a season in his 44-year-old body. This dude should have regressed 10 years ago. And
he's on that TB12 stuff, dude. I don't know what's in it.
So if that's it for Tom Brady, I've rooted against you for your entire career, but good job.
What more do you say?
Yeah, what more do you say? He's the GOAT. He literally defines the term GOAT. Like he is the dictionary definition of GOAT. So all of that being said, Ben only got Ben got two of those differing picks correct. He did get Kansas City beating Buffalo, and he did get the Rams beating the Bucks. So the current score we each got a point for getting AFC Championship and NFC Championship teams correct. Those were in the preseason picks. You can go check those out if you forgot any of those. But not to confuse anybody, the current score after everything, after the divisional round, going into the AFC Championship, going into the last week of the bet, is 237 to 230. Ben is down by 7. Now, each game is worth 6 points. But, like I said, there are two obvious favorites going into this week, and me and Ben really don't have the balls to really pick Cincinnati or San Francisco. I'm sorry, Cincy and San Fran fans. I'm spoiling the picks right now, but we don't have the balls. So Ben,
I think I have bigger balls still at the end of the day.
In my opinion, I was thinking Ben was out then at that point. If he was going to pick the same teams as me, there's no way Ben can win. But Ben mathematically does have another path to victory.
So I was, late at night on Sunday after a wild Sunday. I started thinking. I was doing math in my head, which probably not the best thing to do late. And I was like doing the math. I kept thinking. I was like, there's got to be some way that I can win by still picking the Chiefs and Rams. I was like, okay, let me think. I still would get a point if I got the Chiefs and Rams because I had that as my Super Bowl pick. And I started thinking. I was like, but how do I win? And I forgot for a second. The score. If I get one score prediction right, I get 5 points. If I get my 2 point, that's 2 points. That's 7 points right there to cover and tie Nick. But I would still beat him by 1 because if I get the score prediction between the Chiefs and Bengals or between the Rams and the Niners, and I get my 2-point conversion and Nick doesn't, I win by 1 point because I had the Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So I am literally putting all the chips on the line. This is probably the most stressed I'll be on a Sunday.
And last season, I will say, in Nick's Pick Season 1, I got 1 score prediction correct. Ben got 3 score predictions
in 4
correct.
Weeks. 3 within 4 weeks.
This season, Nick's Pick Season 2, neither of us, not all through 18 weeks, Neither of us got a score prediction once this season.
We've
So
come close. We've
we've
both
come
come
close a
close.
lot, but it has been a weird season altogether, and neither of us have gotten a score prediction. So if Ben wants to get it, it has to be now. So everything has pretty much already been spoiled for the picks, but we got to get these score predictions out there for Ben's chance. So let's get into it, guys. The AFC Championship game. It is the Chiefs going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. We clearly both have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one. I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one 32-24 over the Cincinnati Bengals. And I will say just real quick, this is the Kansas City Chiefs' fourth AFC Championship appearance in a row. And this is Andy Reid's second time bringing a team to a championship appearance 4 times in a row. He brought the Eagles there 4 times in a row in the early 2000s. So Andy Reid just as goated as Patrick Mahomes after that game. But look, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have played outstanding the last 2 games. And after that overtime game against Buffalo, they have scored over 40 points in both postseason games this season. The Cincinnati Bengals, they have a decent defense, but there's no way they contain Patrick Mahomes any better than Buffalo did. And look, 32-24 may even be generous, but I do think that Joe Burrow comes out slinging. I do think that he is up for the moment, but it's just, I'm sorry, you are just way outmatched in this one. And hopefully Cincinnati has another good season next year. But yes, Kansas City 32-24. So Ben, yours is more important. If I get the score prediction, it's just over.
Oh yeah, 100%. If you get any score prediction, it's over. Or you're two. Literally, I need you to not get anything lucky on your side.
Yep, I have to get nothing this week.
Quick side note: if we both miss these picks, then I also lose. All right. So my score prediction is.
All right, I will say this: if it's Niners Bengals in the Super Bowl after everything I just said, I'm doing the bet too. Like I'm sorry, that I deserve some sort of punishment for that. That's horrible.
All right. Well, my score prediction is 34-20. I was gonna make it a lot lower. Honestly, I was thinking lower, but I also believe that Burrow can score. I think him alone, outside of Allen, could gunsling along with Mahomes. But the difference is Allen and Mahomes have more weapons, and honestly, Burrow's nothing against Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, fantastic player, rookie of the year, great. He's set up for success. And Uzuma, I think it's their tight end, Uzuma or whatever. I'm butchering his last name. He's solid too. They have solid weapons, but they're not Tyreek Hill. They're not Travis Kelce. They're not on that level. And if the Chiefs can put up 40+ points on the number 1 ranked defense, I don't know what Cincy is, but if they did that against the number 1, I don't know how you can compete at that point.
And the NFC Championship game. It is the Los Angeles Rams going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Look, I will say to our credit at the beginning of the season, we were saying that the NFC West could very well be the NFC Championship game. I just had it Rams Cardinals as the NFC Championship. Ben had the Bucks in the championship game, but did admit that it could have been an NFC West team. But I didn't think it'd be the 49ers, and especially the way that they started the season. Look, they got hot late, and a lot of times in football, that's all it takes. I mean, I say all this shit about the San Francisco 49ers, but this is the exact same way that people looked at the 2011 Giants or the 2007 Giants. A team that maybe doesn't belong there, but if you get hot at the right time, you get hot at the right time. So, look, San Francisco's got a shot, but I have 35-21 Rams over the San Francisco 49ers. I'll get into a little bit more in my 2-point conversion that will hopefully win me this competition. But look, 35-21 Rams over the 49ers. Stafford is he beat the one team I think that was in his way to getting to a Super Bowl. But he has a much tougher task ahead of him when he gets there if Patrick Mahomes is on that other side.
Yeah, I would say this is probably if Buffalo KC was an offensive shootout, I think this has the potential to be a defensive slugfest because both teams have great defenses. But like again, obviously I'm picking the Rams to win this game, not just because they're my Super Bowl pick, but because again, gotta go with luck on my side. But this Rams team showed me, even though they almost choked it, they gave me confidence to believe in them because you saw Matthew Stafford in that moment. Matthew Stafford in that, I think it was like a minute and 4 seconds left with one timeout, I believe is what it was. He showed right there. He's like, you know what? Yeah, the Bucks tied it. Give me the damn ball. Either way, everything aside, I have the Rams winning this one 32-24 over San Fran because, good God, if Jimmy Garoppolo makes it to the Super Bowl, I don't know what I can do at this point because like I don't see him as a Super Bowl quarterback. I just don't. I can see Burrow, I can see Mahomes, and I can see Matthew Stafford. The only quarterback in these playoffs that I cannot see being a Super Bowl quarterback as of right now is Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not because like, oh, it's by default. He did not win that game. He did not win that game last week. Matthew Stafford won his game. Garoppolo didn't win his game.
We move on to the 2-point conversions, which are very important this week because if Ben does get a score prediction, it will come down to the 2-point conversions. If Ben gets his and I don't get mine, Ben wins. If I get mine, I win no matter if Ben gets his or not. So 2-point conversions. And I have no real ties to any of the teams in the playoffs right now. If I were to be rooting for any of them, I would say probably Kansas City. I'd like to see Mahomes get a second ring just so that, he stacks them up early and he's not winning them when the Giants start getting better. But I needed a tie to somebody. I needed somebody to like attach to and get some good luck off of. And I know Ben was just talking about how Cooper Kupp is Matt Stafford's guy. And the San Francisco 49ers have a really good defense. So hopefully somewhere in their game plan, they're going to try to like tie up Cooper Kupp. So Matt Stafford might have to go to someone else. Someone who used to wear the blue.
Oh, God. Are you doing it?
So, look. Odell, we have given Odell a lot of shit this last year. And deserved for most of it. But we, for the most part, thought that his time with the Los Angeles Rams would be just like his time with Cleveland and with New York, where he is a distraction. And with him on the field, the team is just not a whole lot better. Well, that really hasn't been the case for Odell in Los Angeles. Granted, it was a little bit of a slow start, but he has definitely come on lately for the Los Angeles Rams, and he has definitely become a solid number 2 option for Matthew Stafford because Cooper Kupp is clearly that number 1. But I think not only will he get more yards than Cooper Kupp in the NFC Championship game, he'll have more receiving yards than anybody in the NFC Championship game. So that would include Deebo Samuel on the San Francisco 49er side or anybody else Jimmy Garoppolo wants to heave the ball to. That includes Cooper Kupp. That includes Cam Akers because they do like to run some running back receiving options out there. So I'm believing in Odell. Show some former Giants pride. Once a Giant, always a Giant, as Strahan or Eli said. One of them said it. So sure. Odell, get the most receiving yards in the NFC Championship game and win me this competition for the sake of the Giants.
But my 2-point conversion is, again, I'm going off of this Rams game, and I'm going off of Matthew Stafford, which I'm playing dangerous because this could still play in with yours. And the reason why is because I think Matthew Stafford is going to be the reason the Rams win. Even though I think Cooper Kupp is amazing, I think Odell is great, I think Higbee as a tight end is great, the Rams have a lot of good weapons. Because of that, damn right. Shout out to my dad, the only Rams fan. He was nervous as hell. It's all good, Dad. I got you. Ready for this, Dad? Matthew Stafford at the end of championship weekend will have the most passing yards and the most passing touchdowns out of any quarterback that plays. More than Mahomes, more than Joe Burrow, and more than that bum ass, albeit very, very handsome looking man, Jimmy Garoppolo. He could just be a model. Fuck playing quarterback. But, you know, pause. Either way, though, Matthew Stafford is going to show why the Rams traded him, saved him from the shitty team that is the Detroit Lions. He will show out in the NFC Championship game and hopefully get me my score prediction because, good God, if I said I was on life support last week, I think I still am this week. Either way.
Well, all I can hope for this week is 2 more outstanding football games like we got on Sunday this past week in the divisional round. And look, Ben, if you get one of these score predictions and you get your 2 point and you somehow miraculously come back, because I don't think you've been ahead since like week 1 or 2 or something, or
I think it was very early,
like that.
It was very early.
It has been a while since you have been ahead in this competition. If you pull this off championship weekend, I will have nothing to say but GG, because that I'll give it to you at that point. But like I said,
it's luck. I'm going on luck. Like there's no way to go about it.
The next time you see us in a Knicks picks setting, it will be for the Super Bowl picks. We will have a video this upcoming week for the, not necessarily for the Pro Bowl, but like during that week, of maybe some mid-season or some postseason awards and, you know, our kind of final thoughts on the 2021 NFL season. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. And Ben, now you're really on life support because this is it. This is the final week to get points. You are down 7. It's been a rough ride all season. There's been no score predictions all year. You need the first one all season in the last possible week. Good luck to you. And honestly, it's been a great season altogether. So we'll get into all that in the Super Bowl. But good luck, Ben. And anything you want to say before we head out?
Good God, Lady Luck be on my side, because if
you pull this off,
I honestly, I feel like
I almost want you to pull it off just for the history. Just like
I think if I pull this off, honestly, like I almost don't want to do the Super Bowl thing. At that point, I gotta walk away. Like I just got I won't. Don't worry, not getting rid of me just yet, guys. But at that point, I almost want to metaphorically just walk away. Like I can't top that. If I get a score prediction and my 2 point, and you get nothing. Like for your 2 point at least, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I just gotta. That's a drop the mic. Like maybe I'll have it like Cooper Kupp burnt the Bucks defender at the end there. Maybe I'll get lucky like that.
Or Gabriel Davis.
4 times.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. Good God.
All right, guys. I hope you had a good one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great one. Peace.
Deuces. See, this is the right thing. It's when you say you buy and I say deuces. This is the correct flow.